Today we're talking about dairy cows. Hello creature lovers and welcome to the universe. Today we're talking about Porcellio Levis Dairy Cow, or as I like to call them, Porcellio Spetz Dairy Cow, and let's go down to the bin. And as always, we start with the description. Origin: they are native to Southern Europe or the Mediterranean regions like France and Spain, and North Africa, but they are introduced globally, so as a cosmopolitan species. Size: they can grow up to 20 millimeters, what is about 0.8 inches in length. What makes them, on the bigger side for an isopod. And their lifespan is 1 to 3 years on average, but potentially up to 4 years in optimal conditions. Next is the bin. As you can see, we're using the standard 14-liter Isopod bin. As always, link how to set it up is down in the description, and there is also a link to the substrate that is in the bin, also down in the description, linked for you. Next are the conditions. We start with the temperature. As always, there are two ranges. Range number 1 is where they can survive or where they still breed. That's about 18 to 30 degrees, and they really thrive at about room temperature. 22 degrees are optimal breeding temperatures. They can survive for a short period over 30 degrees and under 10 degrees Celsius, but don't try it, it's not worth it. Humidity: they need 40 to, or they tolerate 40 to 70% of moisture or humidity. As always, I normally use these squish bottles to make the boxes moist, but as you can see, there is already still water condensation here around the bin, so I won't water them today. Next is food. Their primary food source, as primary decomposers, is leaf litter and white rotten wood, but they also thrive on organic vegetables and mushrooms. I go with carrots, squash, and sweet potato. Those are the things I had the best experience with. I always say skip cucumber, it's basically just water, nothing else. And I made the experience that my isopods don't like zucchini. So all of the species avoided the zucchini or were really slow with eating it up. Protein: those Dalmatians are protein driven, so they really eat a lot of it, and that also is one of the reasons why I would say they are not good for bioactive. And as a calcium source, I always have grounded eggshell in the feeding dish, and there is also calcium in the substrate. You can also go with cuttlebone or with oyster shells, that works as well. Only make sure they always have access to enough calcium. Next are color variations or morphs, and with dairy cows we have a little problem when it comes to morphs. If we want to go through Porcellio Levis morphs, there are a lot, but those are dairy cows and they don't breed with Porcellio levis. That's why I call them Porcellio Spetz Dairy Cow. There are two morphs besides from the dairy cows. There are milkbacks with a milky white stripe, and there are whiteouts, so basically all white or high white animals. And there is a myth that I read in an article that there are red Dalmatians out there, but beside to this article, never heard it again, never seen it again. So it's a myth and I don't believe it until I see it with my own eyes. And next is breeding, and as you can see, it's super easy and explosive. Dairy cows, in my opinion, are one of the fastest breeding species in the hobby. Females carry 50 to 100 eggs for 3 to 4 weeks. The juveniles mature in 2 to 3 months, and they have 2 to 4 broods per year, so they multiply like crazy. That's something you should have in mind when you're getting them. They are super, super cool animals, super, super cool pets, but you need to think about what you will do with the offspring. And we have some other interesting facts. The fact that they don't breed with Porcellio laevis, but labeled as Porcellio laevis or looks like Porcellio laevis, means that there is a pretty high chance that they are a own species. Everything that comes to taxonomics is currently in movement, so the chances that this is a own species are pretty high. And another thing you should know about them with interest, in reality, it's a sadly fact. Uh, I saw in the US they label it pretty well as dairy cows. Here in Europe, labeling is pretty bad. They are labeled as dairy cows, as Dalmatians, as piebalds, and I also seen one as panda. And that will be a problem if they get an own species status, because then we don't know what we have in our bins anymore when they are not labeled right. But I think we will deal with that in the future. Yeah, now you know everything you wanted to know or you not wanted to know about Porcellio Dairy Cow. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment if you have questions. And besides that, I wish you all the best. Have a great week and see you in the universe. Bye bye.